The truth is, going viral might just be one of the biggest risks an artist can take in the modern music industry. Overnight fame can definitely launch an artist into the spotlight, but keeping that momentum and capitalizing on it is a different story altogether. The constant flood of content coming at us from all these different platforms has led to an audience that sometimes craves the next sensation before they can even fully enjoy the current one, moving on just as quickly as they can hit the like button. But why is it that so many viral artists struggle to keep their relevance and fade into the background as fast as they emerged? What's really happening behind the scenes that's making it nearly impossible for these artists to sustain their careers and build a lasting legacy? Let's dive in and pull back the curtain on why going viral often isn't the recipe for long-term success that it's made out to be. Just think about an artist like Salento, who became an inescapable sensation online with his breakout hit, Watch Me Whip and Nene. It was everywhere, but a year later, how many people still kept up with him? The thrill of novelty often wears out fast, and in the blink of an eye, yesterday's viral hit becomes a distant memory. For many artists, it can feel like being thrown onto a speeding train, where the same forces that made them famous start working against them. This is because viral fame doesn't just come with opportunities, it comes with challenges that can derail an artist's trajectory just as quickly. The problem with going viral is that it often allows artists to skip crucial steps in their journey and doesn't help them build a strong foundation for their careers. Overnight fame doesn't leave room to build a loyal fan base, establish industry connections, or even fully understand your identity as an artist. Take Lil Pump, for example, who made waves with Gucci Gang. His popularity was immense, but as time went on, people moved on, and he struggled to keep that same level of relevance he once had. Then there are artists like 6ix9ine, who is the center of attention with his outlandish persona and high-energy tracks, but quickly became infamous for his controversies, which overshadowed his music. These artists are great at capturing attention, but in doing so, much of their audience became invested in the moment, not the person behind the music. And when the moment passes, so do the fans. Even for someone like Lil Nas X, who broke records with Old Town Road, the overwhelming obstacle of evolving beyond that initial viral moment was honestly looming over his head. It can feel like being trapped in the image of their viral moment, a single snapshot of themselves that fans expect them to continuously replicate, leaving little room for growth, change, or even to just experiment with their music. Essentially, while virality can bring a massive wave of attention, it often leaves artists standing on pretty shaky ground. And then there's the pressure from the industry, the kind that most of us don't see behind the scenes. Managers, labels, and of course fans are eager for the next hit, and they want it fast. Take DaBaby, for instance, who saw a rapid rise to stardom, but as he kept releasing similar sounding tracks, audiences started losing interest, and the pressure mounted. This resulted in some borderline disrespectful memes poking fun at the artist and his repetitive sounding music, and the internet ran with that narrative. Artists like Flo Rida and Chance the Rapper have faced similar struggles. Though their styles and fan bases are different, the pressure to churn out hits took a toll on their long-term growth, with Flo Rida essentially becoming known for vanilla radio hits and little else. This high-stakes environment can create a cycle of burnout, where artists are constantly producing new content just to stay relevant. And in this rush for relevancy, it's easy for them to lose touch with their original vision and burn out along the way. Rather than putting out music that's meaningful, they feel pressured to release whatever will keep their name out there, and sometimes that means sacrificing authenticity. A grind like this can be mentally exhausting, leaving artists drained and making it tough to keep the passion alive. In the case of Chance the Rapper, he was once touted as the second coming of Kanye West, as he was an immensely talented rapper out of Chicago, who was breaking the status quo with his authentic and soulful music. However, the public perception of him completely flipped when he released his 2019 album, The Big Day, which was received poorly by fans and critics alike, claiming that the content of the music was boring and seemed to be chasing TikTok trends rather than aiming to be a work of art. When it's all said and done, going viral might open doors, but it doesn't promise a lasting career. Ironically, Artists who grow a following slowly and organically often have a better shot at building something real, a strong foundation, loyal fan base, and clear identity. It's not the flashiest route, but it's often the one that leads to a long, fulfilling, and sustainable career. But look, we get it. You've put in the work, spent countless hours in that dark studio with bad lighting, pouring your heart and soul into your music. You faced the frustration of perfecting every beat, every lyric, every sound, and pushing through those moments when it feels like no one is paying attention. The late nights, the sacrifices, the grind, and it all comes down to that one big moment when everything clicks, when your music finally gets heard. You dream of going viral, of hitting that moment where your song blows up and people finally start to take notice. But here's the real question. If that moment happens tomorrow, would you be ready for it? Going viral might seem like the ultimate goal, but it's a double-edged sword. Sure, it can get you millions of streams, a huge social media following, and the spotlight you've been working toward. But what happens after that viral moment? Can you keep up with the pressure? Would you know how to turn that sudden attention into something real and lasting? Or would you find yourself chasing trends, trying to recreate the same success over and over, as so many artists have? It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of viral fame, but many artists actually end up struggling to handle it when it comes. They aren't ready for the intense scrutiny, the constant demand for new music, and the pressure to keep the momentum going. So what would you do differently? It starts with understanding the difference between temporary fame and true artistry. Viral moments come and go, but real connections with fans can last a lifetime. By building a community that values you for more than just one song, you're fostering relationships that will help you grow as an artist in the long term. So engage with your audience, share your journey, and give them a reason to stick around long after the hype has faded. Authenticity and consistency will always outlast any popularity contest. With that being said, what's your move? How will you take control of your moment and make it into something meaningful? And how can you leverage the lessons learned in this video to avoid making the same mistakes? Because the truth is, going viral isn't the finish line, it's the starting point. And if you're ready to face the test, the real journey begins now. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more advice and insights on breaking through in the modern music industry.